podcast. Yeah. And I just did that for the very nice person who commented about the intro being too loud. I have tried to turn it down. Now, the last one, I know that one came out too loud. I was a little mixed up. But the other ones, ever since you said that, I've been really trying to keep it lower. So if you don't mind and you do hear this, let me know if it worked for you. If not this, I'm going to play the song usually. But it's a shout out to you for giving me a comment, for one thing. And very constructive feedback, because that's something I've always been stuck about. I don't know what to do with it. I don't know how to do it right, and I'm not sure if I'm doing it right. So you gave me feedback that really helped. Thank you. So yes, I still think we're all psychic, and this podcast is just me today. I was going to go to an open mic night. I was going to work. I probably will work. Probably log into Everclear. And maybe play with some more music stuff. I've really been getting back into music. And so something I want to talk about that I've seen a lot of doing this are people going back and forth in the field. And I've been doing the podcast for 6 years. Over 6 years now, and I've gotten to know some people. It feels like some of the conversations we have, for me on my end, it feels like I've known these people for freaking ever. I'm going to know these people all my life. Plus, I listen to the podcasts a lot again to get their wisdom again, because I forget it. I need it. I need all of your wisdoms, guests. Thank you, wisdoms. So listeners, here's Einstein, and watchers, there's Einstein, if you're watching on Spotify or YouTube or however this video may come to you. He's kind of showing a little bit. He doesn't like to be on display on the podcast too much, but maybe he's going to change his mind. You know, when he was a kitten, he didn't like posing. And then he started kind of getting it, and he liked it, posing. And by that I mean when I did Card of the Day on Instagram, sometimes, a lot of times I'll do that, and I'll use the cats as my models for my cards of the day. And these are my sound bowls, and I just, since we're working on a new intro song just for that moment, let's just play a little G. G is a miracle note, right? It's a 432 hertz frequency bowls, of course. I can't remember what the G is. What do you think, Guy? You like that? So, I'm going to be doing this podcast forever, I always say, and I probably will. And I always pick up a lot of interests in my life, and I do stick with some of them, and pick them back up and put them back down, just like psychic work. I want to make sure I love what I do. I've been under a lot of stress, and I know a lot of the stress I am under comes from my thinking and a lot of things that I perceive as problems, simply put, but problems that I didn't mean to cause, but I probably did. I'm definitely not irresponsible in some way for whatever these problems that happen are. There are certain ones that, if you've noticed, listeners, you've probably had certain things over and over, and watchers, this is a video. You probably have noticed certain things over and over again that just seem to be repetitive in some way. And I know I've talked about this before, but for me, something repetitive in a way I've talked about is how my relationships and romance doesn't go well. I believe what I think I see as the best, and that's what I expect. I shouldn't expect. Right now, I'm kind of giving myself a break from dating. I'm not going to date for a while. I'm just going to stay single. I like it. If something happens, it happens, but I'm not out there looking, and it feels pretty good. As far as actually taking action towards dating a person and getting to know them better again and stuff, it's like a big step after having been in a marriage that long. And for any of you listeners who can really relate to going through a big life change at 50 or 40 or something after when you're supposed to be over the hill at 40, that's what they said. Now our generation changed it to 50, so now I'm over the hill again. They did it twice to me because they didn't change it until after I was 40. But they say in Generation Z, or Generation X, my Generation X, we are 40 when we're 50 or something like that, and we think we're 30 or 20. We think we're teenagers still. I think I am. I know I am in a good teenagery way, though, not in the teenagery way that I'm confused and I don't know what I think I should like hide. No, not that kind of teenager. I feel like I have hope again, like a teenager does in a way. Like I have hope because I'm getting new interests again, and it's for me. It's not because someone introduced it to me and it was a dude and I loved him and I thought he was cool and what he does is cool. So I learned it. I did that a lot. I did other things learning just because I thought it was interesting to me, like jewelry and like tarot. I mean, all the energy work stuff has always been my interest. And same with audio, that was my interest. And music was always my interest, and so was writing. And those are all the places where I ended up making money in my career. And that's what I love. So in Nashville here, I've been going to open mic nights, and I'm kind of thinking about reviving just as a little fun time in my life. Reviving my music career a little bit and going into the sound healing is a kind of like aim and goal for me personally, to bring that kind of I know a lot of people are doing it, and to just bring the healing I'm learning about as I practice with these sound bowls, as I practice with the solfeggio forks, and how I can bring this into a musical setting or some kind of song format or album format where one can dance to it and groove and feel better afterwards. You've heard me talk about it. I'll never stop until I do it. And then I'll sing about it. Yeah! At some point when I moved into this apartment, I did promise you a podcast. I'm out of breath because I just fell out of it trying to get into it. A podcast on the hammock. Ooh, I almost fell out again. I might leave it in if it happens. You can't see through my underwear, so, but everybody else just saw my underwear, but there's no one outside. So it's a beautiful day, about to storm here in Nashville. It rains kind of in the afternoon a lot. And back to what I was talking about, though. You can change what you're doing. I just came outside from the inside. And that's just a thing I was not going to do, but I just thought, hey, man, why not? Why not try that? See how it goes, right? And I love the hammock so far. I'm afraid the audio might be kind of weird, but I might be able to work it out. If not, forgive me. So we'll kick back on the hammock if I don't fall down. And I'll tell you about, why I'm talking about this to begin with on a psychic podcast about how we are all psychic. The thing is, as we collect new interests, we can collect new spiritual interests or new energy working skills that is based in our spiritual belief systems, as we call it in our culture now. That's kind of what it's considered in our culture. I don't want anyone to hear me, not like I'm broadcasting this everywhere, and I don't know where it actually ends up. The big podcasting secret. We have no clue what happens to our podcast, really, ultimately. Oh, and there's a helicopter. You want to see it? Yeah, helicopter. Sorry, listeners. I might cut that up so you don't listen to all that. So I have not developed any brand new interests, but I have expanded on my interests that I do have in music, and with the sound bowls and with the harp and the piano. I've been doing different things with that, and the guitars and bass. And singing, actually. I've been trying some different vocal techniques with energy, like putting my energy into my voice, which is, I think, most musicians do as empaths. They will articulate very well what they feel through the way they vocalize, and they collect it onto film like a good empath. And I want to change my something new in my life. I want something new to come along, do something, learn something new, get involved in something new, because I'm bored. Not I have bored. I'm interested, I'm curious. I want to do something new. And music's always called to me, and I want to keep doing it. So I've got just about everything I need to do something with it. So, and I'm doing it. I'm playing out and stuff a little bit here and there. Not making any money, of course, but just for fun. And meeting people. That's the best part. Meeting musicians. I love songwriters. It's like it was been my go-to when I moved to a new city. Go to an open mic night and meet songwriters. So, listeners, in a spiritual podcast, you're listening to this for some reason. Maybe you are thinking, you want to integrate some of this kind of stuff into your spirituality, and that's why you're listening. And you can. You can take and leave as much as you want. It's your spirituality. It's your life. It's your creativity to do whatever creative thing you want to do. Same with your spirituality, in my opinion. You can even spy on yourself. That's my bedroom. Do you recognize it from other podcasts? Maybe so, maybe not. There's not much I love more than a yellow day. And I've had a few yellow days lately. If you don't know what a yellow day is, it's when it's rainy, or it's about to rain, or it's going to rain. It's the same thing. Or it has rained. And it's kind of drizzly, something like that usually. And it's just kind of yellow everywhere. It's usually around sunset. Here it's about an hour from sunset. 5 o'clock-ish on, let's see if I can do this right, September the 5th. 2025, September 2025. And if you ever want to start integrating different things into your life just to give you some spadunkle again, your creativity is the way to go. If you don't want to explore your spiritual gifts or skills as far as your psychic energety. Your energety. I would say energetic side. Your energety. That's what I'll just call this podcast, your energety. And if you want to change your energety, you can. And if you don't want to use it anymore, you don't have to, but you probably be using it, not even knowing it. And thank you always, guys. And I want to thank Everclear, my sponsor. Everclear is an advice app and website where you can get advice from psychics and empaths so you can get the clarity you need to create the life you deserve. And I am an advisor on Everclear under the name Lisa Russick. And you can call there or chat there. And I offer mediumship on my website. And I am on Cosmic Connections. You can meet me in person or through their virtual calendar. So Cosmic Connections, yourcosmicconnections.com, Nashville, or something like that. I never remember their website unless I'm writing it down. Thank you so much for listening and watching, as always, listeners. And I love you. I really value you. That's all I have to say. Sometimes when you're so full of love, you just go, I think that's why I decided music might be a good path to go down, because I've been doing those kind of weird sound effects to everything lately, but that's not too unusual. Thank you so much again. Bye.